Welcome back to a wax pack a day. Reminders of the things we're looking for. Got to cross off that Bonilla last time, so let's see what we got today. All right, welcome back. Opening another 1990 Fleer. Hopefully, you saw that last episode. Nice update. You see that cross out Bobby Bonilla on the back. Let's see what's in the pack today. Wonder how often those all-star inserts are in these, because I've only found one so far in about 20 packs. So, all right, our quiz. In what years did the Athletics win 3 consecutive World Series? 77, 78, 79? Maybe? Oh man, sorry. 72, 73, 74. I was way off. All right, we got a Darren Dalton. All right, 2 packs in a row with a guy we need. So Darren Dalton takes the stage. Charlie Huff, Geronimo Baroa, Dave Bergman. So we got a Tigers update too. Nice. Mike Morgan, Craig Worthington, Ken Caminetti, Dave Stewart, Yvonne Calderon, Herm Winningham. Herm Winningham is also one we need. How about it, guys? All right. So let Herm Winningham take the stage maybe for the first time in his career, because I've never heard of him. Zane Smith, Scott Bankhead, Don Robinson, Jose Alvarez, and there's that other Jeff Robinson, not to be confused with the one on the Tigers. All right, so we got 2 of our guys, these dudes, Herm Winningham and Darren Dalton, and a Tiger. So making progress on those sets. Awesome. Finally. All right, well, all right, yeah, a lot of progress over the last couple episodes. Could have focused on Darren Dalton, but I feel like he's a more well-known player of the era. So I chose Herm Winningham. And one of the reasons I chose him too was the Reds won the World Series this year, which is like the Reds are just not a team I think of as successful. So I'm always like, oh yeah, they won. They won. This is the last time they won the World Series, and I can't foresee them winning one in the future, even though Sal Stewart is pretty dang good. All right, so going over stats like we do. So Herm Winningham, he played a total of 9 years for 4 teams. And he was a guy. He played 868 games, so about I think that's around like 95 a year for those 9 years. Never had more than 4 home runs. Never had more than 83 hits. Very likely that he was not an everyday player. Most years, maybe in like 87 for Montreal and 85, but definitely a part-time player when the Reds were more successful in like 90 and 91. So he got drafted by the Mets, started with the Mets, went to the Expos for 4 years, Cincinnati for 4 years, and Boston for 1 to wrap up his career with a negative .8 WAR. So yeah, this is a dude where like if I think this is one of those things. If you make relationships and you have a smile like Herm Winningham smile in the upper right hand corner, just kidding. I don't know what that face is. People will keep you around. So I wanted to add more though. So in that World Series run, so they only had 2 series. Then now you have, I think we're up to 4 series with the wild card rounds, or the play into the wild card. I don't even know what it's called. But you used to just have the NLCS and the World Series at this point in '93 when the Marlins and Rockies were added. That's when you got the ALDS and the NLDS. But yeah, so he hit pretty well in that stretch run. He even scored the winning run in the World Series, replacing Billy Hatcher. So that's pretty cool. So definitely, like Reds fans likely of that era likely know who he is. Some downside to him, though, was a replacement player during the strike in '95, which started in '94 and cut both seasons a little bit. No World Series in '94. Um, if your organization is part of a strike, you should be part of that strike. But he retired in 1990 and floated around. Um, but the Society for American Baseball Research, I read a little more about it, had a good article about Herm Winningham. And it said he signed with the Mets as a replacement player in 1995, but the player strike was resolved before any games with replacements were held. He pointed out that he hadn't been in the union since '93 because of like semi-retirement, noting that when Gene Orza of the Players Association talked to him about the integrity of the union, I told him about the integrity of my family. Um, I don't want to get super political here, but when you're in a union, like your union is your family. Like your family needs to extend beyond your blood, and looking out for the workers of whatever work that you do. Like I've mentioned, I'm a teacher here. I've been on strike before. There were things I disagreed with. There were things I agreed with, but you got to be part of it. You got to stick together. You got to go out on that picket line and fight for more against the people who have more than you. That's how life works. So just a little political rant there. Also, downside, he was suspended in 2013 from his hometown. He was head coach of the hometown Orangeburg Wilkinson High School baseball team, suspended after allegedly attacking a player in the dugout during a preseason game. He denied this. Something that's frustrating about starting these projects, hopefully you guys make me rich, but a lot of the stuff is behind paywalls for old newspapers. So it's really hard to access old information because that's something I wanted to read about more, but I can't pay for I think it was behind like the Akron Herald or something paywall. So I couldn't get to that, but that sounds pretty interesting. I want to know more because I want to deem whether he's guilty or not. And then the most interesting thing about Herm Winningham, he was so we have five. He was the sixth last player to get three triples in a game. So it's something that's pretty rare. So if you look at the dates on that though, so we had one Xavier Edwards in 2024, Yasiel Puig in 2014. I vaguely remember that. I remember this Denard Span game that was against the Tigers in 2010. I definitely remember that Denard Span. He killed us sometimes. Then you have Rafael Furcal in 2002, Lance Johnson 95, Herm Winningham in 1990, August 15th. So right around this time of year. Um, and then we actually have less than 3 weeks before that, Shawan Dunston, 1990. So you get gaps of time. Like we have 10 years, 4 years, 8 years, 7 years, 5 years, and then you have 2.5 weeks, and then it goes back to 9 years. So it's a year, a month, 7 years, 6 years. So you have those gaps of time, but I thought it was really funny that a guy I already talked about on this channel was right there. You know, he got it on the 28th of July, and then Herm Winningham said, no, I'm going to hit three triples, because they knew someday I was going to talk about them pretty close together on some random YouTube channel. All right, so to recap, four teams in, I think it's actually 9 years. I think the 8 years is a typo. A World Series champ in 1990 with the Reds, the unassuming Reds. Then three triples in a game. One of the last players to do that. I think the sixth last player to do that. And I'm really sorry that was left over from the Bobby Bonilla video. Also gets paid $500,000 by Orioles. He never played for the Orioles. Sorry about that, guys. But thanks for being here. A little editing error there. Ending on a low note because Herm Winningham, scab, he also had low notes in his career. Don't cross the picket line, dudes. Solidarity. Adios.